My name is Lindsay Jones. It's June 22nd of 2018, and my password is pretzel. This is my live audience. Imagine that you're just sitting down one day, and all of a sudden you have severe, excruciating pain behind one of your eyes. Feels like somebody is stabbing you with a hot poker, and there's so much pressure that your eyeball feels like it's going to come out of the socket. Then your eye starts swelling shut, watering, and instantly gets bloodshot, and then a blood vessel bursts in your eye. There's absolutely nothing you can do to make the pain stop. You're pacing back and forth because it almost makes it worse to sit still. This happened to me in May of 2016. This was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life. The pain was so intense that I started to cry. I would curl up into a ball and just rock back and forth. I tried over-the-counter medication, I tried ice, I tried heat, and nothing worked. This is what I looked like that day. As you can see, my eye is almost completely swollen shut. Even my face was affected, and it was extremely bloodshot. Later this day, my blood vessel burst in my eye. So I ended up having to go to the hospital. I thought that I might have a brain tumor or an aneurysm. This is where my journey began. I was told that I probably had a migraine. Now I know that migraines are painful, but I couldn't imagine them to be the same type of pain that I was feeling. I wasn't sensitive to light or sound, and I couldn't sit still when the headaches were happening. I wasn't able to sleep through the night because of the sudden pain. It would wake me up from my sleep. This went on for a couple years off and on. I went to see countless neurologists, eye doctors, headache specialists, naturopathic doctors, acupuncturists, Chinese medicine, and multiple ER visits, and nobody could figure out why I was getting this debilitating pain. They tried to put me on a few different migraine medications, but nothing worked. There were many days where I couldn't go to work, I couldn't drive, I couldn't sleep. The pain was so bad that I couldn't even think. Fast forward to April of 2018. I was finally diagnosed with hemicrania continua, a trigeminal autonomic cephalalgia. So you're probably thinking, what in the world is that? In a more simple language, I have a form of what's called a cluster headache. They call these cluster headaches because they come around in clusters, generally about the same time of year for the same period of time each year. These headaches can be up to 8 times a day for 3 hours each, varying in intensity. Some people go into remission and have months and months where they're pain-free. Other people who have chronic cluster headaches actually don't have any period of remission, and so they're just in pain constantly the whole time. And again, there's nothing that you can do to stop the pain once it comes on. Few, if any, medical disorders are more painful than cluster headache. Patients describe the pain of a single attack as being worse than any other pain they've ever experienced in their life, including childbirth. You can literally Google worst pain known to medical science, and Google will tell you a ton of information solely about cluster headaches. Now, there's no known cause for these headaches. They do know that certain things can trigger the headaches, like alcohol or smoking cigarettes, but they don't know what actually causes them. There's also no cure. If more research is done, they could come up with a cure, or at least know causes so we can prevent this from happening. Now, migraine is the most common misdiagnosed disease for cluster headaches. Up to 71% of patients may fulfill the diagnostic criteria of migraine during exacerbations, so I can see why doctors may think that it's a migraine, not a cluster. Some people will actually get both migraine and cluster headaches at the same time. So we need to learn more about this disorder so doctors can properly diagnose these patients. These headaches do occur in less than 1% of people, but those people do deserve answers and to be taken seriously. And this is compared to 15 to 18% of people who get migraines. Again, generally it does take 2 to 3 years for a diagnosis. Some of these people can use oxygen at the ER, or some people actually get oxygen that's sent to their house, and this does give a temporary relief of pain, but you still have the after effects. So, what if you or one of your loved ones got this disorder and had no answers? Could you imagine a grown man being brought to his knees in pain, banging his head against the floor because that feels better than the pain that he's in? Although this is rare, it's terrifying to think that it's possible to watch a loved one in so much pain and know that there's nothing that you can do to help. Now, since there's no known cause, you don't know who this can happen to. So to help, I'm asking for donations for clusterbusters.org. This is a website that helps sponsor research and resources for other cluster heads like myself. One study that they're working on right now is the possibility of using psilocybin as a remedy, as well as LSD. They manufacture LSD in a non-psychoactive form, and something in the chemical makeup of LSD actually relieves the pain for these cluster headaches. This is actually as common as multiple sclerosis, but many people don't know anything about cluster headaches. I myself had no idea what a cluster headache was before I got one. So, as Carl Sagan once said, somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known, and I think that something could just be the cure for cluster headaches. Thank you all for watching.